Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
Today, obviously, we're drinking bourbon. All right, Ben, what's the difference between American and French oak?
I thought you were going to go with my joke, the virgins.
All right, go ahead and say it.
Well, I think we're about to find out the difference between American and French oak. So we recently did the BRT 2022 releases from Maker's Mark, and I think that's these two, correct? So we have these separated by French American.
Right, so we actually did the 01 and the 01s from last year and this year, and then the 02s, so 01, 01, 02, 02.
Yep, so what we want to do is we want to taste them all against each other, but we want to compare last year's 01 to this year's 01, and last year's 02 to this year's 02, because, like I said, these are the French oak, these are the American oak, so let's, you know what, we need to separate them a little bit. You got like this little Atlantic Ocean right there.
That's right.
So we've got America and France. So these are the
glasses. Get a little model of the Concorde.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So these are all similar proofs. 109.
Right in the same range. Yep.
109. 110. All right. So the 01 of the American staves is the banger here. So we recently did a video of the, and we've done a video of the 01s last year.
About a year ago.
And recently we did the 02s.
And we've liked all of them, but they are different.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I guess my biggest takeaway, and it's this one here that currently, based on top of mind, was my favorite because it's so sweet and like caramel forward.
Sure.
So I'm curious, like this comparison between, these two and those two.
And the difference is not in the oak staves that they put in the barrels afterwards. This one is the FAE, so that's fatty acid esters. I don't know what the science is behind that, but apparently it has something to do with the taste of the bourbon.
And this also the mouthfeel, they really focus on that
viscosity
experience.
And then this one has the
this one and that one.
Or this one and this one, sorry.
BRTs.
Have the
barrel
handling. Yeah, so it's the different barrel placement and stuff like that.
So this is a science. It's probably done somewhat by computer and somewhat by experience, just of which barrels are going to work out and be the best blended.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did definitely notice a difference between them, obviously, when we did the comparison. So this should be fun.
Yep.
Wow. So this year's 01 is definitely a little chocolatier. And I know that last year's, the 01 of the, I can't keep these straight. So these are both
01s.
01s, okay. God,
It's a good thing we're not pouring on camera.
Yeah, no kidding. This is going to be a disaster, actually. Yeah. This is a terrible idea. Shut the video down.
No, it'll work out. It'll work out.
Well, either way, we get to drink 4 awesome bourbons, so.
We do.
Okay.
So I'm not getting huge difference, though. I mean, a little bit of, slight difference, but they're all about the same age, about the same proof. And so I'm going to jump in.
Okay.
And there is no winner. I mean, obviously.
Now I know where I was going with that. Because this one came across as real chocolatey. I remember last year's 02 being chocolatey, and that's actually what I was smelling. So, good tasting notes there.
Okay.
All right, let's go in for the taste here.
Okay.
Cheers.
FAE 01. Have you ever been to a toy store?
Yeah. No, that wasn't the one I was drinking. Good Lord, this is going to be a disaster. This one is chocolatey, though. Anyway, the toy store.
It's actually FAO. I was going to make a joke.
FAO Schwartz.
We don't need to confuse things
I have
anymore.
A hilarious story about being in an FAO Schwartz one. It's not appropriate for the channel, but I'll tell you after the camera's off. You'll love it.
I've never been in one.
Water here that I will bring in for the comparisons. Right off the bat, I love this. This one here.
There's no bad bourbon up here.
FAE 01.
I mean, this is Maker's Mark, a huge distillery.
Yep.
Who knows what they're doing, and they're limited releases.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I haven't had a bad one of the wood finishing series or private selects or anything. They've just all been good.
I am getting wood tannins pretty strong on the finish of this, though. It is a bit on the harsh side. 110 proof, the aggressive kind of bitter dryness on the finish.
Yeah.
So it's a good whiskey experience type whiskey, but it's, you know, definitely a new person would, you know, potentially be off-put by.
That being said, it's a good kind of dipping your toes into some cask strength level stuff
totally.
because it's on the lower side of cask strength. It's a wheater, so it's a little softer on the edges.
Yeah.
Have you had both of them yet?
Yes.
A little more caramel on the 2021.
Okay.
And I'm getting a little more of like a dusty oak on the 2022. I don't know if that's a note we picked up when we originally reviewed these.
Dusty oak and maybe like
There's a dusty
like
quality to it.
toffee and milk chocolate.
Definitely chocolate
Yeah.
on the 2022.
Yeah. Milk chocolate. Well, this one's a bit more caramel-y, kind of traditional.
Great legs. Really coats the glass. I did water between the initial sips, and now I'm just going.
I should probably do some water as I move across the continent to the French.
Man, those are, yeah, the 2022, the BRT one, definitely a little more oak forward. They're both really good. I don't know if I have a
forward.
winner.
Really, I'm getting, this one is way more oak and dry.
Really, I'm
tannin.
getting the
This
exact
one's-
opposite.
Huh.
Interesting. Well, you know, that happens sometimes. I guess what I'm getting at is the 2022 has a little more spice to it. And I'm getting that kind of oaky spice. I don't know if I could pick a winner between the two of these if you were to ask me which one I like better, because I think I like them both equally, and they just kind of have their place.
So, okay, this one, if you picked a number and say the spice is 8, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, and the sweetness is a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. I feel like the sweetness on this one is more. It's more chocolatey.
Really?
And the spice is more. And so this one's a more interesting bourbon, I think.
The 2022.
BRT01. 2022 limited release edition special, whatever it is. All right. And there's nothing wrong with the FAE 01. It's just this one's a step up.
Interesting. I mean, there's definitely a difference between them, but I just, yeah, I'm picking out the sweetness more on the one that you're getting the oak more, and
Wow.
we're having a total opposite experience. Let's see what happens with the, say something in French, I don't know.
Va te faire foutre.
Okay, just a little bit. Speak the language. They're going to be very nice. Just try.
So this is the FAE 02 2021. I think it's the 02 and the 2021 that's throwing me off. Okay. So let's get into some French virgins here. I'm talking about oak staves.
Yeah. So I think they're both going to come across as sweeter. And I think that the other Maker's Marks that we've had that are French oak stave, like store picks, also have a chocolatey / sweeter kind of approaches to some of the others,
Sure.
like the 46 and some of the other.
I'm getting, these are pretty similar actually.
I agree. Like I'm not getting a lot of difference, but honestly, I'm not noticing a lot of difference on a lot of bourbons.
I think the American stave ones, that's how I'm just going to divide these up, because if I keep trying to say the numbers, I'm going to botch it.
Yeah.
Those definitely are a little more different from one another, whereas these two are a little more similar.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go for it.
Wow. Maybe it's just because we had a couple pours already, but that came across really, really light in the proof. I didn't get as much of, and that could be just, I'm going to go back to it in a second. I didn't get as much of a bite on it.
Really?
Proof-wise, but
So
that could be a fluke.
Okay,
I
so
have that
I
happen
could
sometimes.
kind of see that. I'm not getting like the ethanol kick at all. I am getting a real like caramel custard kind of flavor, like desserty. It's more of a balanced desserty type thing, even than this one.
This is the one that was very chocolatey. Still getting that, but I kind of agree with you. It's a custard vibes. Yep. A little more proof on that second sip. Sometimes you have a couple of pours and you just have a sip of it and it just, for whatever reason, the alcohol burn isn't there. All right, I'm going for the 2022 version.
I'm gonna try some water before. That's a good idea. In my mind, this is gonna be the best of the 4 from the previous review we did, but we'll see. Because this one's pretty good though.
Yeah.
Nice blend of caramel, chocolate.
The
pepper's light.
FAE02 from 2021. From what I gathered, most people's opinions, this was kind of the better one of the 2. I think most people thought.
Really?
Yeah. Of these 2, and it seems like you're kind of having that same experience.
I definitely feel the O2s are better than the O1s as I felt that a year ago on the.
And now on this last one, you like the O2.
Yeah. It's more desserty. Again, that desserty to the point where it's an occasional drink bourbon because you don't want too much of it because it's kind of sweet and rich.
Whoa. Maybe I just took a big sip of that, but that's a ton of flavor. Tons of chocolate. I'm having a flavor on here.
Chocolate covered almonds.
This is going to seem weird because this is not what I normally get.
Never said anything weird on this channel in 250 episodes.
This is not something I normally get from bourbon. It is a whiskey tasting note, but it's certainly nothing I would have expected to get off a Maker's Mark.
Okay.
And it could have just been, maybe I took a bigger sip. Huge burst of flavor, a little tiny bit of mint with the chocolate.
I would associate that more with the higher rye type.
That's what I would think too, yeah.
From.
And I know certain scotches can kind of have that quality to them as well. And it could be a fluke again, but it tasted great.
Orange, citrus. I'm gonna go back to this one.
You know those chocolate oranges?
Yep.
That you have to break?
I don't know what
you have to
I
break
think you've
those.
made reference to. There's a dehydrated
I don't know if I've
orange.
ever even had one before. I don't have tasted it.
Yeah, I think I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
It's like an actual orange. It's dehydrated. Is that what it's called?
No, it's just made out of chocolate.
Oh no, this is like a real orange.
Oh no,
Like
I've never had one of those.
Dipped in chocolate.
Oh, yeah, no.
Or candied orange, and then like a real orange that they do something to it, and then dip it in chocolate. I don't know if I've ever actually had one, but that's.
I've never had that, but they make the chocolate oranges where it's basically kind of like they make a chocolate Easter bunny or a chocolate Santa Claus. It's an orange. It's shaped like an orange. It looks like an orange, but it's made purely of chocolate. But it's flavored. It's like chocolate and orange flavored together. And I think you have to smash it, and then it breaks into pieces or something. I don't know, but leave it in the comments if you guys know what I'm talking about, or if I'm just nuts. I'm getting this as the most aggressive. I did a total Minnesota most.
I think it's the most interesting in the dessert wheelhouse.
Sure.
So if you're looking for more of a rye type whiskey, this is not it. This is the wheat forward.
Seeing as that there's no rye in any of these.
Well, it's not, but it's the most desserty almond shortbread type whiskey.
This one?
I feel that's the most stereotypical pinnacle of what Maker's Mark is.
The maker, especially the private selects.
Yeah.
I'm just going rapid fire. Swallowed that a little bit wrong. No water. Raw dog.
Just checking on it. This is another video that we're working on. We're trying an aging of a moonshine.
Yeah, it's going well.
It's going well.
I think out of these 4, it's hard to pick a winner.
Oh, no, it's not.
So you're ride or die BRT02.
Well, if you're looking for sweet and desserty, this one. If you're looking for interesting with lots of different character, this one. If you're looking for maybe the most everyday usefulness, this one. If you want oak forward and maybe borderline too much.
It's so weird. I'm getting such a different experience on this particular one. I'm getting just a ton of.
So I don't hate
caramel
it.
and toffee and butterscotch.
All right, let me try it again. I mean, traditional Maker's Mark, kind of like the almond, the butterscotch, and that kind of stuff. but then it turns into this really dry, astringent kind of finish that's oak.
See, I get way more of that on this one.
Huh.
Like, because this is definitely the most bold out of all 4 of them.
Yes,
and I love it.
I would.
It's great.
But I think it's bold on the sweet category, the bitter category.
Yeah, it's bold on everything. It
Yeah.
does have the sweetness that you're talking about. I totally agree with you on that, but I'm getting a ton of oak spice on this one too.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all good. I'm glad we're not trying to do best and worst of these because I just think that each one of these has a place, you know?
What this tells me is that, I mean, I think, and we've all known this, if you're watching this channel, thanks for watching. We know that like bourbon is this weird science / art, and the people who are picking and like choosing the right barrels to go into their limited releases,
They know what they're doing.
It
is an art form.
They're geniuses.
Yeah.
And it's not something broken down and done with a computer. It's done by taste and feel and so on. And
Well, they say Maker's Mark, just the regular Maker's Mark, is aged to taste. So it's between 5 and 7 years, but they taste the barrels. And it's like, okay,
well,
this
they
is
taste
ready,
the
this
whiskey
isn't.
in the barrels, not the barrels.
Yeah, yeah.
technically.
It's gnawing on the barrel.
Yeah.
All right, so we've come to the best part of the video.
We have, and there is no winner versus there is no loser.
Yeah, these are all great. To be perfectly honest, they just all have, it's almost like they all start off, well, obviously, because they're the same brand, but they all start off with the same, they got the same stave profile, same brand.
Well, these have stave and those have different stave.
Right.
Yep.
But they have like they all offer something in a little bit of a different direction, each of them, but they're not that far out. Like, I think if you like any of these, you'll like the rest of them for sure. It's not like you're gonna taste this one and really like it and then you're gonna detest this one.
Probably not. Right.
I can't imagine that anyone
that would be hard to just see that person.
Yeah. So they're all coming from the same starting point, and so they just each have their own strong point, which is fun, So I think if you have all 4 of these on your shelf, I could reach for any of them at any time and be perfectly satisfied.
Sure.
But sometimes, like, you know what, I want that little more chocolatey one, or I want that little more caramel one. You can pick which one you want.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, let's get into the Benny Walker special here. So I am going outside in, as you have suggested.
No, I notice that's what you always do. I tend to go to the middle, but I'm going to try your approach.
No, I'm going from the outsides into the middle.
Oh.
So usually I just go from the end and then just pour one.
Well, that's awkward.
To the next.
Okay.
All right, here's the blend.
Yep.
440 some proof. Or 430 some.
439, let's say.
Yeah.
And probably aged right around 39 and a half years.
Yep, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And, I mean, whoa, $372, is
peanut butter.
No way.
Yeah, peanut butter. I am getting peanut butter vibes on this.
Oatmeal cookie.
Oatmeal peanut butter cookie. Our levels might have been off, but whatever.
Oh yeah, our ratios are.
Yeah,
totally,
ratios are different,
but mine were 50, 50, 50, 50.
I am getting total peanut butter on this.
I set you up. You should have.
Oh, 50.
You should have said, well, mine were 50, 50, 50, 50.
Yeah.
See, that would have been funny.
Half this one, half this one, half this one, and half that one.
Yeah, that's.
I know peanut butter is a note people get on bourbon sometimes.
It comes from peanuts.
It's not a typical one that I get.
Not on Maker's Mark.
No, but I am getting it aggressively on this.
I'm not. I would say it's more in the almond range, which they make a thing called almond butter.
Almond butter, yeah. All right, let's get into it. Cheers. Wow, that's really good.
It's really so.
Maker's Mark, drop what you're doing right now and start blending these together. So after drinking through these, we still have this much whiskey left in the glass.
So yeah, I may have overpoured.
I was making fun of Greg when he poured for the video.
So the 2023 special, we believe will be referred to as TBN 01.
Perfect. The Bourbon Note 01. I like it. So yeah, before we started the video, Greg poured these.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, those are thick pours.
Sometimes we don't pour enough because we know we're going to do the blend at the end. And
yeah.
So I misjudged. And
it is Saturday. We've got nothing going on for the rest of the day.
Middle of the day.
So I think this was probably like a solid, like up to there pour, if you consider what we've drank.
Well, the good news is
110 proof whiskey.
I don't have to finish it all before we finish this video.
Oh no, we are filming this till the bitter end.
The bitter end.
This is a great blend.
It is really good.
Yeah, if you have all 4 of these, try half this, half this, half this, and half that.
Totally agree.
Yeah, perfect. Do you have anything more to say about these?
I was going to make a joke about the Atlantic Ocean because we should probably do a callback to that, but nothing comes to mind right away, so.
Your comedic timing is impeccable.
If you have an Atlantic Ocean joke, or at least an American versus the French joke, insert now.
American virgins versus French virgins, insert now. Which actually sets up a joke of its own, doesn't it? We better end this video.
Yeah,
I think we've had enough
so.
whiskey. This has been All of These Makers Mark products on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time.